Welcome, this is Nick from Beer and Batreps, and today we have another quarantined digital game of Warhammer 40k. So we will have Noah via Zoom on a little tripod on our cell phone, and basically all he has to do is have his dice, have his rules, stratagems all laid out, knowing what he wants to do with his game, and then basically I make sure the camera's at good angles for him to tell me where to move his army. And if you've never tried it, you should definitely try it, especially during this crazy pandemic. Still a way to play as long as one person has a table and multiple armies to use. The other guy just has to sit and hang out and roll dice. And so Noah gets his camera right at this angle on his end where I can see the box he's rolling his dice in. So it's pretty cool. So we're having a lot of fun. Today, if you didn't see, Custodes versus Space Wolves. So in our fluff, the Custodes have decided the geneseed of the Space Wolves has gotten too mutated. There's too many werewolves running around. Fenders must be destroyed. So we have the Custodes invading force, and we have the cult of the Red Wolf. It is my personal chapter of Space Wolves, and they love dreadnoughts. It's all about waking up the old sleepy dreadnoughts. This list has 8 dreadnoughts in it, 2 of which are named characters. So 8 dreadnoughts, 3 redemptors. We got 2 Wolfen dreadnoughts, a venerable dreadnought. We got Murderfang. We got Bjorn. It's beautiful. We also have the new Ragnar. I don't have the model. I had to kit bash the model because, as you may or may not know, the box with Gazkul and Ragnar, can't get it yet. Supposedly they're going to open up their shipping here pretty soon, and I'll get Gazkul and Ragnar real soon. To supplement the dreadnoughts, I definitely fleshed it out with a bunch of Reavers and Wolves, and then over on the Custodes side, it's all the big powerful Terminators. It's 3 of the bikes, 3 more of the Dawn Eagle jetbag captains. It's nasty. Yeah, we're going to roll up our mission. I think we might try to take a mission from AOS and tweak it to be for 40k. It's a pretty fun one I've been seeing online. I've been wanting to try it, so we might try it with 40k if I can convince no one to play that one. So we'll be right back with the armies, relics, warlord traits, all that. We're in quarantine, guys. We got all the time in the world. Pull up a chair, get a beer. Let's drink some beer, roll some dice. Thanks for joining us. Cheers. And here we have the Space Wolves Cult of the Red Wolf. This is 1850. It's actually like 1841. And it is a triple Vanguard detachment. You know how my lists are always a little weird. This one especially so. So, we have the Warlord, my kit-bashed Primaris, Ragnar Blackmane, until the new model comes out, because during the pandemic we can't get the new Ragnar model. So he is in a Vanguard detachment of himself, 10 Ferrician Wolves, and 1, 2, 3 units of 10 Reavers. So 30 Reavers and 10 Wolves with Ragnar. Also with him in that Vanguard detachment so that's the end of that one. The second one is Bjorn the Fell-Handed. Just got him painted up. He's looking great. And in Bjorn's detachment, it is himself, Murderfang with his converted Contemptor Dreadnought armor. So Murderfang, Bjorn, a Wolfen Dreadnought with axe and shield, another Wolfen Dreadnought with axe and shield, and a Venerable Dreadnought with close combat weapon, heavy flamer, and heavy plasma cannon. And he's rocking the Bjorn flag. And then the final Vanguard detachment is a Primaris Lieutenant. They have a certain name for Space Wolves, a battle leader. And he has the Armor of Russ. 4-up invulnerable save. In addition, you pick a unit and they fight last. And in his Vanguard detachment is 1, 2, 3 Redemptor Dreadnoughts, all with the DACA loadout. 2 Stormbolters, Onslaught Heavy, Onslaught Gatling Cannon, regular Onslaught Gatling Cannon. So they bring the DACA. They help with the cover fire for the rest of my combat-based army. The Warlord is Ragnar with his Warlord trait, the Always Strike First. And yeah, this army has 8 Dreadnoughts, 30 Reavers, 10 Wolves, combat characters. It's got some shooting, it's got some combat. Triple Vanguard would get me 6 total command points because of the 3 that you start with for being Battleforged. And Bjorn adds +1 for a total of 7 command points. And the new Psychic Awakening, Saga of the Beast, has a bunch of cool new Space Wolf stratagems to try, which I cannot wait to try. There's some really, really gross ones. There's one in particular that I'm going to use with Murderfang if I can get the chance, because he is amazing at combat. It's primarily combat focused. We got some DACA, but unlike all the other armies' Redemptor Dreadnoughts, my Redemptor Dreadnoughts hit on 2s with those fists. And from turn 3 on, 6s are 2 hits. So they are combat focused. They'll be running up the board, shooting some DACA, but mainly just coming to fight. It's 1841. We'll be right back with the Custodes list. And here we have the Golden Boys, the Custodes. This is an 1850 list. It's technically 1840. We have as many upgrades as we can give them. We tried to get it to 1850. First up, we have a Supreme Command Detachment. 3 Dawn Eagle jet bike captains. This is so powerful. So first up, the guy with the white hair and no helmet. He is the Warlord. His Warlord trait is the 5-up Feel No Pain. And then his relic is the Auric Aquilas, which is a biker model only, has a 3-up invul and reroll charges. So he has a 3-up invul, 5-up Feel No Pain, and rerolls charges. Then we spend a command point, or Noah wanted to, spend a command point for this guy right next to him, and he has the Eagle's Eye relic, which is +1 to your invuls. So 2 of these have 3-up invuls. So it's 3-up invul, 3-up invul, 5-up Feel No Pain, and 4-up invul. So these guys are really, really powerful. Then we have one big Vanguard detachment. Let me come over here and show you this. Okay, so in this graveyard we have, right back there, that's Trojan Valaris. We have the banner of -1 to hit. Then we have a huge 5-pack of Alaris Terminators. This is like a 400-point unit. These guys are 4 wounds each, T5. They're super tough. 5 of them. That's going to be a lot to chew through. Then we have another unit of 5 Custodes Wardens. These guys are super tough as well. So 5 Wardens and 5 Alaris. Big, powerful units. Then we have 3 of the Praetors, I believe, the bikers. Just backing up the Supreme Command. We got a lot of bikes. And then he wanted to bring a Dreadnought too. So we have the Venerable Contemptor Dreadnought with Kiri's Assault Cannon and Power Fist. This total is 1840. It's fast. It's powerful. We got 4 really powerful characters on the board to go up against my super powerful characters. It's going to be a bloodbath. He's got some shooting. I have a little bit of shooting too, but mainly we are super tough, super nasty in combat. This is going to be a really fun game. We'll be back with the board layout and mission type after this. Okay, so here's the layout. Dawn of War. So we pan over. Everything is deployed and set. So how this game works is there are 3 objectives. 1, 2, 3. And they have numbers. So we had 2 on this end, 1 on this end, 3 in the middle. Every turn you roll a D3, and whatever number you just rolled up that coincides with that objective is then worth 3 points, and the other 2 are worth 1. and you do this every turn, and you score at the end of the battle round. So you don't score each player turn. It's back to the old school rules of at the end of each game turn. So battle round is when you score. So Noah won the roll-off for attacker defender, chose to be the attacker, so he deployed his whole force, and here's his deployment. On this flank, across from objective number 2, 5 Alaris Terminators and a Dawn Eagle Shield Captain. That is terrifying. In the middle, we have his Venerable Contemptor Dreadnought and another Dawn Eagle Shield Captain. There's the 3 Praetors, I believe, the Bikers. It's a unit of 3. And all that's facing the middle one. And then we come to his castle. Next to the Bikers, we have his Warlord. And he actually decided, instead of the 5-up Feel No Pain Warlord trait, he wanted the -1 to hit. So he's -1 to hit, -2 to hit because of this banner. So he's tricky. I can't even target him right now anyway, but that'll help him in combat a little bit. Most of my good wolf fighters already hit on 2s, and then get the +1 to hit because of being a space wolf, so I'll probably still hit him on 2s. Then we have Trojan, the banner, and 5 Wardens across from this one. So, across from this one, I have 10 Reavers, a Wolfen Dreadnought with the shield and axe, a Venerable Dreadnought with heavy plasma cannon and close combat weapon, 1, 2, 3 Redemptors, all with the DACA loadout, Bjorn the Fell-Handed right behind them, and a Lieutenant, Primaris Lieutenant behind them, Battle Leader, sorry. 10 more Reavers. Sorry things aren't painted, guys. This is a recap. This is where we can test out our armies that aren't 100% painted. We saved the 100% painted armies for the full hour and a half, 2-hour battle reports. 10 more Wolves. 10 more Reavers for a total of 30 Reavers. I know Reavers get hated on online, but Space Wolf Reavers throw out 41 attacks that hit on 2s. I love them. And they're the cheapest primaries you can get, 16 a model. Then on this end, this flank is all combat. We have the Wolfen Dreadnought with axe and shield, just like the other flank. We have Murderfang in his converted Contemptor Dreadnought armor. And we have today's kit-bashed version of Ragnar Blackmane with his new rules. So this side is going to be very bloody. We got our 3 best fighters other than Bjorn across from the Alaris Terminators and Shield Captain. So that is going to be gross. So, we rolled the D3. Well, first of all, I tried to seize and failed. I rolled a 2. Noah then rolled the D3 and it was a 5. So 5 or 6 would be objective number 3. So this center one is worth 3 points. And each of these side ones are worth 1 point. And we're about to start with Custodes turn 1. And for something new for this battle report, I had someone in the comment section request that for these recaps, I give you a recap after each player turn. So I'm going to try that this one. A little more editing, but it'll definitely give you a better feel of what's going on in the battle. So we'll be right back after the Custodes turn 1. Turn 1 for the Custodes. Custodes, however you pronounce it. These guys all pushed up the field this way and grabbed that objective. 3 bikes and a shield captain and the Contemptor Dreadnought pushed up and grabbed the 3-point objective. Scary. And over here, the Alaris Terminators moved up, and the Shield Captain with the 3-up Invulnerable Save Relic moved up and grabbed this one. They haven't scored the 5 points yet. They have to hold it at the end of the game turn. But an army-wide rule for the Custodes is that they are OBSEC. They are objective secured. And I run a crazy list of all things that aren't OBSEC. So he has a good chance of scoring all this. First thing I did, I spent 2 CP for defensive positions. I've never actually done this. I don't usually like doing it, but I know that all the axes are flat 2 damage, -1 AP, just Primaris killers. So I wanted to protect my Reavers a little bit. So I spent 2 CP. That got me down to 5. He then shot. He killed 1 Reaver out of this unit and wounded another with a Hurricane Bolter, so didn't quite finish one off. Then he decided to shoot all this into the wolf pack. He was going for the easy first strike. And between all this, he managed to kill 7 of the wolves. And then over here, all this open fired into these guys and managed to kill 2 of them. Even with my better saves, I rolled 2 1s with his 2 damage axes. Those axes are a flat 2, which is just gross. So, I was then left to decide, do I want to spend 2 command points of my then remaining 5 and keep him from getting first strike? And after some thought, I decided that I don't think my shooting phase, or if I'm lucky, combat phase, will be strong enough to probably get first strike against the best defensive army in Warhammer. So I went ahead and spent another 2, so I'm down to 3, to keep them from running. So effectively, spent 2 points to keep him from getting first strike. Seemed like a good bet. It sucks that with the new stratagems, I won't have very many CP to play with, but I'm pretty happy. Didn't lose a single unit. We're still looking strong. Lots of dreadnoughts, lots of reavers. You know, honestly, my opponent shooting at the wolves, although they tend to give up first strike, that's best case scenario for me. So we'll see how this goes. We'll be right back to do a recap of Space Wolves turn 1. Space Wolf turn 1 was bloody. So the group moved up to here, and then these guys moved to here. This Redemptor moved right here, and they all pushed up. The wolves hid behind that. Shooting was next to nothing. Actually, between the 2 Redemptors, we killed one of the wardens back there, of the 5 wardens, and then Bjorn with his frost cannon was just like, watch me boys, and killed a warden with 1 shot. Pew! So that was my shooting phase. Pretty cool. It came to the all-important charge phase. Now, if you know Space Wolves very well, these Wolf and Dreadnoughts reroll charges, and then Ragnar gives out a bubble of reroll charges. So it can be pretty gross. So we started out with this. It charged from all the way back here into his Warlord. This Redemptor then made the charge, and then these Reavers made the charge. So we just swarmed this objective. He's objective secured, I'm not, so didn't quite grab it, but these guys then failed their charge. He succeeded first, though, took the Overwatch, fought the Bikers. Then I rolled a 12 with the Wolf and Dreadnought and got all the way to his shield captain that was by the tower. Right after rolling a 12, I rolled an 11 with Murderfang, and he ran all the way to the shield captain. So we started out the combat phase. I spent 1 CP for the new Space Wolf. What is it? It's the new one. Sorry, I'm trying to think of it. It's the new Space Wolf stratagem. Basically, a Space Wolf character can spend it, and they get exploding 4-ups to hit. Each hit of a 4 or higher is an additional hit. It's so good. On the charge, Murderfang has 8 attacks. He starts base 5, 6 for being a Space Marine, and he adds 2 when he charges. So, 8 attacks with exploding 4s led to 12 hits. He hit him 12 times. He then has strength 10, or maybe 12. Strength 12, minus 3, flat 3 that reroll wounds. Needless to say, he tore him apart, obliterated the shield captain. And so they actually took that. Then Noah, the custodians, have a 1 CP stratagem where if they're on an objective, they can jump in for 1 CP instead of 2 like all the other armies in Warhammer. So these bikers jumped in and did a ton of wounds to this Dreadnought. Took the Redemptor from 14 down to 3. But he hit back, killed a whole bike and 2 wounds on this guy. These Redemptors hit hard when they're Space Wolves because they have that +1 to hit. Real nice. Over here, after spending 1 to jump in with them, he spent 2 more to jump in with him. Pretty cool trick because they're 2 different stratagems. So his Warlord jumped in, put all of his hits on him, only managed to do 4 to the Redemptor. Then I hit back with the Redemptor, the Reavers, and the Wolf and Dreadnought. And he rolled pretty great on his 3-up invul. At the end of the day, only lost 4 wounds, and he's down to 3. So at the end of the turn, he still held strong on this objective because he's objective secured. So that was 1 point. He scored here for 3 points. That was the big objective this turn. And I scored there for 1 point. So that gives him 4 points to my 1, but I also got first strike. So it's 4-2, Custodes lead and Custodes turn. We'll be back at the end of Custodes turn 2. So turn 2 for the Custodes was unbelievable. We rolled to see which of these objectives was worth 3, and it was number 2. So that one's worth 3, this one's worth 1, and the one under those reavers is worth 1 at the end of the game turn. So, start out with the Custodes. These guys jump backwards out of combat with the Redemptor that was on that objective. He jumped out of combat with the reavers and the 2 dreadnoughts. Jump back to here. And that was it for leaving combat. These guys moved up. The dreadnought and the shield captain that were over here both shifted over here, and these guys pushed forward. In the shooting phase, between these two and him, they shot 36 shots at the Redemptor that only had 3 wounds left and managed to kill him. So pretty good shooting phase. These guys rapid fired along with his Curie's assault cannon and his 12 shots into the reavers and got them down to 3 models. So we got 3 reavers, 3 wolves, and Ragnar over here. All right, so in combat, this guy struck at my dreadnought with the shield, and my shield blocked all of his attacks, so that was cool. But while he was busy blocking him, these 5 hit him in the back and wiped him, did like 18 wounds to him. These Alaris are ridiculous. This guy then had a perfect roll with all of his attacks with the lance and killed Murderfang. It was a pity. I should have saved 2 command points to fight when I die, because then I could have just brought him with me or killed half that unit. But I must have used a command point rerolling somewhere. Basically, those 2 command points are the 2 I spent having cover for turn 1. Something I never do. I probably won't ever do it again. But, yep, down went both these dreadnoughts, along with the Redemptor right there. And then these guys all fought. The Banner, the 3 remaining Wardens, and Trojan charged my Combat Dread and my Redemptor and killed both. The Combat Dread blew up, killed a Reaver, put wounds on everybody, so that was cool. But, man, I went from 8 dreadnoughts down to 5. So, going into Space Wolf turn 2, I'm going to score there, and I'm going to score here. So, at least I'll get 2 points to his 2. But, man, I took a beating this turn. My shooting phase needs to go real well. My combat phase needs to go even better. And it's looking like Ragnar is just going to be a hero and go hard into these guys and hope their 4 invuls fail. Basically, I got overconfident. I thought that these Space Wolves were just going to mop them up. But as long as they pass their invuls, these Custodians hit super hard in combat. Wow. So we'll be right back with a recap of Space Wolves turn 2. Okay, the Wolves hit back as hard as they could. All this shot, all this charged. We killed everything over here. So that's a Banner, all the Wardens. But then after all this, all these attacks that hit on 2s, Bjorn doing all of his wounds, Trojan passed like 17 saves in a row. He's got a 2-up, 3-up. Noah just rolled perfect. So that was rough. But we killed everyone else and took this objective, so that was cool. In the middle, we ran up, shot some shots, did 1 wound to him, took this objective, scored there too. So that's cool. Over here was a little crazy. The 3 remaining, or first of all, the 3 wolves rolled huge on their run and went from behind this to hiding in there, which awesome. We'll take it. Go for line breaker towards the end if we can. The 3 remaining reavers soaked up all the overwatch, got in. Ragnar himself, Ragnar Blackmane, charged in. Okay, so as you can see, Ragnar is no more. That's pretty sad. He got killed He got killed by 1 Alaris Terminator. That's how powerful these guys are. But I spent 120 points on Ragnar, and he killed 4 90-point models with his charge. He had 10 attacks. I spent the CP for exploding 4s. He ended up hitting with 18 attacks. Hit 18 times. He then wounded a ton. Noah failed enough 4-ups to kill 4 of the 5 and wound him. So Ragnar is incredible. I spent 120 points to kill 4 90-point models. I love it. So good. Then he got lucky. I rolled bad on my 4-ups and Ragnar died. In the future, I'm going to save enough CP. I'm going to try to save 6 CP. That's probably not worth it because the exploding 4-ups are so good. But what I was thinking of was save 6 CP so that spend 2 to fight when I die with Bjorn, 2 to fight when I die with Ragnar, and 2 to fight when I die with Murderfang.
Because, man, if I had enough to fight when I die with both of these, Murderfang would have killed him, and Ragnar would have killed him. It would have been worth it, because it would have been cleared over here. But instead, I scored 1, I scored 2, and Noah scored this 3-pointer. So that puts the Custodes up 7-4. So, this is what's remaining. He's got these 3 models, and Trojan. I have 17 Reavers, 3 Dreadnoughts, Lieutenant, and 3 Wolves. We rolled a D3 to see which of the objectives was going to be worth 3 points in turn 3, and it's this middle one. So obviously he's getting ready to charge me with all these lances. I got to hope to roll amazing, or hope he whiffs. Kind of hard to whiff when you're rolling 2 up rerollables to hit, but we'll see. Over here, Trojan hit back, got Bjorn down to 2 wounds. I rolled pretty bad on my Feel No Pains. So he's either stuck there or he'll dip into this line of sight blocking terrain magic box. I feel like he might just swing first because it'll be his turn and kill Bjorn, and then just keep rolling his amazing armor saves. But we will find out. We will be right back after Custodes turn 3. Turn 3 for the Custodes was brutal. All 3 of these shot and then charged into the 10-pack of Reavers that were right here and killed them all. Took that objective, and that's the one worth 2 points. Over here, he slayed the wolves in here, and he stayed on that objective, shot some shots into those Reavers before the combat. Over here, he charged in to help Trojan, killed 3 Reavers. Trojan then swung and killed Bjorn. So it's looking very, very dire. He's on all the objectives, but this one, running out of models here. This is all I have left. 4 Reavers, a Venerable Dreadnought, a Redemptor Dreadnought, and a, Wolf Battle Leader. So we'll be back with turn 3 of the Space Wolves. Wow, going quick. Turn 3 for the Space Wolves was, like every turn in this game, super bloody. Both Dreadnoughts came out here. They both shot into this unit and killed 1 and got this one down to 2. They then charged in and killed the Shield Captain, the Warlord. But for 1 CP, he did a stratagem called Shoulder the Mantle that immediately you pick another Shield Captain and it becomes the Warlord. So effectively for 1 CP, he kept me from getting, say, the Warlord. And now that guy got to choose a Warlord trait, and he chose 5 up Feel No Pain. So, yeah, then that's no good. The Reavers took a wound off him, but then he slayed 3 of the 4. Trajan is amazing. He's doing real well. We then rolled which objective for turn 4 would be worth 3, and it's this one. So it has successfully been each one this game. This one's now worth 3, and we are going into Custodes turn 4. Looks like he's down to 5 models, and I'm down to 3 models. So down to the wire here, but he is up 10-5. So I have a lot of catching up to do. And we'll be right back at the end of Custodes turn 4. So Custodes turn 4. He moved to there. He popped out and shot this guy in the back. The biker that was right here decided he didn't want to score the point. He wanted to go for the kill. So he came in, shot all of his guns and charged him. When he then took 4 wounds. When he hit back, he killed the biker. So good job, Redemptor. Over here, he jumped from here all the way to here, charged, and killed my Primaris battle leader, the lieutenant. Killed him. He then finished off the last Reaver. So, as it stands, he's got 2 over there, 2 here, and I'm down to the last 2 Dreadnoughts of the Cult of the Red Wolf. We'll see what they can do. He's been unbelievably tanky. We might go hard for him because he's not quite scoring. Try to get that 2-pointer. Wish me luck, Space Wolf fans. Here we go. Space Wolves turn 4. So the last couple turns went incredibly fast. Only about a minute per turn, it felt like. Basically what happened was my 2 Dreadnoughts, one there and one here, charged the biker that was right here and killed him. And these 2 just started taking both these objectives. Then Trojan Valaris charged in, tried to fight both the dreadnoughts. He got killed as well. He stayed here to get on the objective. He went and got Linebreaker. But the game ended. So, as you could probably guess from the rest of the game, Space Wolves were just too far behind. The final score was Custodes 15, Space Wolves 10. We'll be right back with a little outro. Thanks, guys.
Wow, what a game. So bloody. I got Noah here to say hi to you guys.
So quick, so bloody, so fun though.
Yeah.
Hope y'all can hear me.
Oh, yeah. So basically, I got our MVPs out. We were talking, we think Trojan because he just passed every save all game.
Oh yeah, there was one turn where it was like 6 invulnerables and like 8 armors all in combat. So, yeah.
And he killed 2 dreadnoughts as well. And then for me, just in general, not necessarily one Redemptor over the rest, but the Redemptors were my MVPs. They're just my only real source of gunpowder, and unlike everyone else's Redemptors, mine hit on 2s in combat, so it makes them a lot better, a lot more efficient. But yeah,
pretty scary once they get there.
If you've ever been lucky enough to do a Space Wolf versus Custodes battle, it is super bloody if you both run combat lists. It is, I mean, both our bullets are pretty much bouncing off each other. It was all combat.
Yeah, for the most part. There was a little bit of fire here and there, but nothing major.
Well, as you can see, because the pandemic, we're still just doing our virtual battle reports. We think since we spent all this time painting and buying these models, that's better than playing Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah, and soon here we'll be able to get back to normal.
Yeah, things are starting to ease up in terms of how much we're supposed to quarantine. We're probably still going to be super careful, but and you all should too. But we definitely want to play some in-person Warhammer real soon. But if you've liked these shorter bat reps, we're probably going to do a few more. Just to...
Yeah, we'll keep it up one way or the other. I mean, short and long. So yeah.
For sure. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. It was fun getting these armies we don't use that often on the table.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little surreal having both of us on the screen like this, but this is Nick and Noah from Beer and Bat Raps. Cheers. Hit like, subscribe. Thanks for joining us.
See you later.
See ya.